Blake Lively is also shopping for everything she wants, including Justin Baldoni's life savings. Because Blake Lively has decided, you know what? I'm gonna take this to a new level now, you guys. I've decided Blake Lively is the ultimate grifter. Now, this is allegedly, this is not even allegedly. This is just my opinion. You know how Ryan Reynolds got away with calling Justin Baldoni a sexual predator? And he just said, it's my opinion. Well, in my opinion, Blake Lively is a grifter. In my opinion. And let me explain it. Tell me if you guys agree with me on this at all. Blake Lively was hired to do a movie. She was hired as the lead and then a producer on said movie. She had a bad experience on this movie. Whether or not that was true or not, she says she had a bad experience. She said that she was SH'd. She said that she was treated badly and she was uncomfortable. Then she felt that there was a smear campaign. She felt that there was this like whole, underground signal exchanges, text messages, to make her reputation suffer. She takes no responsibility in that, of course. So she decided, let me create this crazy case to try to take another person's life and all of his little friends down, ruin their lives, because I don't want only my life to be ruined. I want to take their lives down with them, with me. If I'm going down, like, if I fall, you're going down with me. Going down with me, baby. If I fall. You know that song? It was written literally for Blake Lively in this case. She's like, if I'm going down, I'm not going down alone. You're coming down too. She decides to create this entire, as we say in Hebrew, balagan, right? Like chaos, massive chaos, creates a crazy, huge mass lawsuit, puts everyone's lives in debt, stops and upends Hollywood, ruins tens, if not 20 people's careers, ends and probably ruins multiple people's relationships, and then has the balls at the end of it to say, for all of these things that I started, yes, I felt A, B, and C, but I started this mess. I would like you to pay me. I would like you to pay me not just for the damages that I felt like I deserved because of my uncomfortable feelings on the film, but for all of it, for all of the mess I caused. It's like my kid going into a room and creating absolute disaster and spray painting walls and pouring paint in the floor and, spray whatever, like spray cheese, like nacho cheese or whatever, and making a mess all over the place. And then going in and telling the owner of the room, like, pay me because you made my clothes messy. My clothes are messy for the mess I made in your room. I made the mess, but now I got messy. So you owe me money. This is like the grift of all grifts. We can see this, right? Can anyone else see this? If you zoom out, it's like if you look at a McDonald's lawsuit where the woman got a ton of money for getting burned for the hot tea, it's like that, except if she asked for boiling water and then spilled it on herself intentionally. She asked for this argument. She brought this argument on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Blake Lively, all these new letters and filings happened yesterday on November 5th. I mean, the amount, I think we're on page like 7,000 in the docket. And in this was a new document that was filed. It was a letter addressed to Judge Lyman it was Lively's second amended initial disclosures. It's document 913. if you can just imagine that we're almost at 1,000 documents. Okay. And in this, she actually is saying she's asking for her damages, right? So you're actually listing at this point all of the damages that she wants. And I did listen to Andy Signor and an attorney this morning on Popcorn Planet. I think it was actually quite interesting because if you do listen to it, you'll hear an attorney's take on this. And maybe in a second, when I get this to charge up a bit, let's see if my mouse has a little bit more of a charge and I can access it. You'll be able to see a little bit about what they said because it's actually fascinating. The lawyer did make me feel that there is a little bit of oh my god, why is this not working now? Is my computer just not working well today? I feel like my kids came in here and ruined everything. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So the attorney that he had on his show said that it's kind of normal that she's asking for all these things. You're kind of almost going all in, but it doesn't mean that it makes any sense. It's normal, but it's not sane. Let me show you just a little bit of what his lawyer friend, I think his name is Kevin Zambrano, I could be wrong, actually said about this.
On Blake's part, as well as a new one just dropped as well, where at this point it feels like Blake is really harassing people, myself included. And I want to get your thoughts on how sort of this works with in-camera reviews and things that she says she hasn't gotten. A lot of interesting little insights we're going to get to, guys. But first, I want to go back to this disclosure list. So we talked about more insight on the 400,000 reputation to expert testimony, lost profits approximately 71 million, subject to expert testimony, pain and suffering, pain and humiliation, 250,000 to 400,000, reputational harm, an amount of approximately 34 million. Zambrano. I mean, you add it all up, and like as you were telling me before, might as well just be $1 billion. It's like, just seems like she's asking for the moon. I mean, is this typical and is this ridiculous? What are your thoughts?
I think the answer is all of the above. It is typical and it is ridiculous. So with regards to just the stakes and the coverage and how far in both parties really are, Andy, in just this case, they're so invested. There's really no way back, or any way back, or any resolution is so unlikely that both parties have to go all in. And this is Blake going all in, but it's all subject to expert testimony, and that's important. Because she can't go in there and go, Blake Lively can competently tell you assuming the jury agrees with her that her reputation has been harmed, she can't really talk about how to quantify that. She needs an expert who knows about celebrities that make money or future deals or whatever, and they have to be competent in order to be like, okay, I am an expert in this field. This is my qualifications, and let me tell you how much Blake Lively is hurt.
But also proof of like losing jobs, right?
So that's it. So there has to be evidence of that. There has to be evidence of loss of jobs. I know she's lost promotions. I know she had her own brands that have kind of tanked. And how much the jury has to decide how much of that is Baldoni or this lawsuit versus Blake being Blake, which is part of the problem with her brand, is that early on in this case, people not people, but the kind of rumblings on social media was like, Blake herself is not the most approachable person, unlike her husband, right? There's a foil, unfortunately, for her. So I think Ryan Reynolds is a great asset for her, but at the same time, it's hard to be compared to Ryan Reynolds because whatever he is in secret, as an external persona, he is a very magnetic person.
It's a really interesting interview. They go through a lot of it. But I thought what was interesting is that he said this is kind of a normal go-to, that she's going all in. They have to kind of go all in. A lot of the different damages that we just kind of called for that I just mentioned, and actually that that he just mentioned lead up to about $600-ish million that Blake Lively wants in damages. Okay? $600 million. Now, the idea that a jury, even believing her, would ever say, yes, I think Blake Lively, because they're going to know who Blake Lively is. And if they don't even really know that much about Blake Lively, they will have known who Ryan Reynolds is. If they don't really know who Ryan Reynolds is, they will have heard of Deadpool. They will know what Marvel is. They will know what these movies are, Disney, Universal. Like, they'll know some of the names involved in this movie or in this case. So the jury's going to know we're talking about big Hollywood money. And then they're going to think about SH and sexual assault type movies or situations. And they're going to say, in the grand scheme of this, and I'm just assuming, even if you take a very, very feminist, believe all women type of person, you're going to look at her case and you're going to say, I don't know if we have like such strong evidence that she deserves that much money. This Hollywood girl who lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion, who's married to this billionaire actor who has 15 companies, who has movie after movie after movie, and she has project after project after project. She has 5 companies of her own. Her social media is still going. She's doing fine. Like, she's doing okay. She's still winning in all ways. She's still getting awards. Remember, as much as they're trying to say that she's so damaged and she's struggling so much, that ain't true. All she keeps saying is how successful everything is going and how wonderful she's doing. So she keeps biting off like her argument. Her argument is that, oh, like, I'm struggling so much. And then every 5 minutes, I'm so happy. Everything's so good. So it's really, truly going to be the very, very difficult argument, I think, for a jury to say, yes, you know what? Not only will Blake, should she win this case, but she should also win over $500 million from this man who didn't lay a hand on her. You know what I mean? It's just, it's wild to me. So tons and tons of money she's asking for. Now, Ron also said something very interesting in that interview about what would happen if she lost this case. And I thought to myself, this would be actually my worst nightmare. Because I would think if she lost this case, we would throw a party, right? We would be celebrating in the streets. Like, it would be the Dodgers parade. Okay. We would get a float. We would, I don't even know. I would have a foam party, like, instead of moose, we would have a foam party and we would all jump around and we would be like, we would just be so happy. It would be over. It ends with us. It ended. Oh my gosh, she lost the case. And Ron says if they lose the case, he feels pretty certain that they're going to appeal. That Blake is so heavily invested in this. She's put so much of everything into it. She's already, like, essentially, she's already staked her claim in the idea that, she's a victim of this, that she is going to appeal it. Because if they lose it, it's not for lack of it being true. It's only for lack of the system working. And that is narcissism 101, not being able to accept ever if you're wrong, not ever being able to admit when you make a mistake, just constantly double downing on your flaws and your faults. And I literally can't. We will be, at some point, we're going to have to cut this story off, because if she's going to be the girl that is going to completely fight this until the day she dies or past that, like, on her tombstone will say, here lies Blake Lively, a victim of Justin Baldoni, I will, like, take us, like, bye. I wake in the morning and I step. That's how I feel about it. Like, wrap it up, girl. Wrap up that trend. Can't do it. Can't do it. I'm tired. Tired of her antics. So, Blake, at some point, she's going to have to wrap it up.